So when the pandemic came, the gyms were locked down. I wasn't able to exercise. The only thing that was open was my fridge. So I started eating more calories, eating out of boredom, because there's nothing else really to do. And throughout eating, I wasn't burning the same amount of calories. I ended up gaining weight. I was at least at 200 pounds, and I went up to 235 throughout the pandemic without being able to exercise at all. Alright, so when it comes to losing weight, a lot of people think that diet and exercise are the most important parts. Actually, they're not the most important things. So I'm going to tell you guys the top 2 keys to losing weight. Don't get me wrong, diet and exercise are very vital and very important, but they're not the top 2 most important parts. The top 2 most important keys to actually losing weight is being, number 1, patient. You didn't gain all that fat overnight. It's just something that slowly progressed. You started eating more. You're probably stressed. Didn't have time to meal prep. Didn't have time to cook. You just going out a lot, partying, going on dates, and just consuming so much more calories, and you ended up over months, years, putting on fat and putting on weight. So, with that being said, you didn't gain it overnight. So how could you expect to lose it overnight? So that's why being patient is one of the most important keys to losing weight. Being patient, knowing it's not going to come off right away, to not give up so easily. Just because you went to the gym for a week, a day, a month, you're not going to lose every fat right overnight. It's going to take you a few months. It might even take you, in certain scenarios, a year or more, just because everybody's body type is different. Everybody loses weight at a different pace. So always remember to be patient. And number 2 is being consistent. Consistency is very important. Don't decide, I'm going to go to the gym today, and then you take a day off. A day leads to a week off. Then it leads to a month off. Then you stop going to the gym. And then a few months later, you decide to start, I want to lose weight again. And then the same thing happens. You start taking a day off. Then it leads to a week off. Then it leads to months off. And the cycle keeps on continuing. You have to be consistent, day in, day out. Even when you don't feel like it, go to the gym, work out. Keep track of your calories. Make sure you're not overeating, not consuming more calories than you should. Whatever works for you, maybe having a journal, maybe having a notes on your phone. Whatever works for you, find what works. But the main important part is being consistent. Finding exercises that work for you, that you love to do, that you can do every day, that you can look forward to doing. So try to make going to the gym or even exercising outside and also eating healthy, try to make it a part of your life, and don't make it too hard. Make it a way that you could be consistent. I hate strict diets. The number one reason why I hate strict diets is because it's hard to be consistent. You hear about keto diet, low carb, no salt, juicing, fasting, and many other different types of diets. And this is not to say that they don't work. They do work for people, but oftentimes one of the reasons why a lot of people struggle to losing weight and sticking to their diet plans is because those types of diets, they require you to eliminate so many foods that it's hard to be consistent. It's almost like you have to put yourself into like a monk mode where you don't go out and you're strictly eating meal prep food and you're very consistent and very strict on what you eat, which is not easy for the average person. Average person is balancing not only trying to lose weight trying to diet, but they also have personal things going on, maybe personal issues, juggling work, school, family, friends, etc. So all of those things make it hard to be consistent. So that's the reason why throughout my weight loss journey, I didn't do a strict diet. What I did do is make sure that I track my calories and make sure that I don't overeat and practice portion control. So one of the reasons why I say lifestyle is better than diets is because lifestyle is easier to maintain long term. Like, think about it. How many videos have you seen or articles you've read, or maybe people that you know in real life, they lost weight and then a few months or a few years later, they gain all that weight back. You don't want to be that person. So that's why it's important to adjust and try to make eating clean be a part of your lifestyle. You can still enjoy a piece of cake. You can still enjoy donuts, fries, burgers, whatever it is that you want, going out to drink, whatever. Just making sure that you don't overindulge and make sure it's part of your lifestyle. If there's a day that you overeat or drink too much or party too much, what you do is the next day after, try to be more strict about what you ate. So if you ate 200 calories over your daily limit, the next day try to take away 200 calories. So it's very important to try to make it a part of your lifestyle and not do a diet. It took me 6 months from August 2020 to February 2021 to look the way you see in the before and after picture. Now, throughout those 6 months, I was very consistent and I was patient. I didn't have a timeline of when I wanted to lose all the fat or anything like that. I just kept on being consistent, exercising, and basically eating a more cleaner lifestyle once the gyms opened back up, a part of my life. I didn't do a strict diet, but I make sure to track my calories, make sure I don't overeat, practice portion control. And I still indulge in foods that I love, but I just make sure not to go overboard with it. So it took me 6 months to lose that weight. Like I said in the previous slide, I am not a fan of strict diets because they're so hard to be consistent. As I said before, consistency and being patient is the most important part of your weight loss journey. And also making sure that it's a lifestyle, not a diet, something that you can keep on going and doing for the rest of your life, and not being that person that loses weight and then puts it all back on. So for me, my diet was more so focused on calories in, calories out, making sure that I don't overeat, or if there's a day that I overate, the next day or the next 2 days, I'll try to decrease my calories just to balance it out. What I also did was to have cheat days and sometimes cheat meals. That was to keep me sane. It's hard to be consistent and eat clean 24/7 unless you're like a bodybuilder trying to get ready for a show. But even them, sometimes you see a bodybuilder after they're done with their show, they put on a whole bunch of weight. So having those cheat days, those cheat meals, it helped me keep sane. It helped me be more consistent and stick to my weight loss plan and not fall off, not take too much time off, and also just keep my mental stability sane. So that's why I think it's very important for you to implement cheat days and cheat meals. Just don't go too crazy overboard and not have them too often, but have a cheat day and cheat meal, whatever works for you. Just make sure it fits your macros. For starters, if you're a beginner, I do not recommend that you do that much amount of cardio. The reason I did it is because I'm not new to the gym life and doing cardio and stuff like that. Prior to the gyms being locked down, I used to do 30 minutes to 45 minutes of cardio. So my body was kind of used to it. I just decided to do more to try to achieve my goal. So when it comes to my exercise throughout my weight loss journey, one of the most important things that I did was weightlifting. So I would lift weights before doing my cardio. It's very important for you to lift weights and do strength training because you don't want to burn your muscles throughout your journey. You don't want to become too skinny and lose all your muscles. So having that weightlifting implemented, it allows your body to conserve more muscles and not lose too much. Of course, you're going to lose some muscles throughout your journey, but you're not going to lose all of it. So lifting weights, making sure you keep your protein high. Then the next thing is cardio. So I would lift weights first and then do my cardio sessions. The reason I just started to do an hour and a half of cardio was because something I wanted to try out, and I realized that it helped me burn more calories and it helped me lose more weight. So I just slowly built up to it. I started off doing 45 minutes. Then I added 5 minutes to it, 50 minutes. Then I decided to add 10 minutes and 10 more minutes and 10 more minutes. And then I got up to doing an hour and a half. But it was something that I could handle. So pay attention to your body and see the response. If your body is not reacting too well to it, maybe you need to dial it back, and that's your body telling you you're going overboard. So if you're a beginner, I do not recommend that you do that much cardio, but make sure you do cardio. Or if you're the type of person who doesn't want to do cardio, make sure you're eating very strict. Because like I've said previously, it's all about your calories in and calories out. Now I'm sure you're wondering, why did I do so much cardio and lifting weights and spending so much time in the gym? Why was I exercising so hard? You gotta ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Me, I didn't like the amount of weight that I put on throughout the whole pandemic and the whole lockdown, and I wanted to lose it. So I started experimenting. I realized by doing more cardio and spending more time in the gym, not only was I losing fat, but I was loving the results that I was getting, and I got leaner than I've ever been before. So you gotta ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Do you really want it bad enough? Or are you the type of person to make excuses? If you're the type of person that's gonna make excuses, then you can't complain about not getting the results that you want. So ask yourself, how bad do you want it? When you figure out how bad that you want it, get to know your body. Because everybody's body type is different. Everybody's body type reacts differently. You can take two twins, put them on the same diet plan, the same exercise plan, but one's going to lose weight faster than the other. It's just your DNA. Everyone's different. Figure out your body. Figure out what works for you. Figure out what you love, what can you be consistent. Maybe not going to the gym might not be your thing. Maybe you're the type of person that likes to go outside and exercise, or you like to play basketball, swim, do aerobics, whatever that is, do yoga, whatever that is. Get to know your body, get to know what you love, and most importantly, get to know what you can be consistent, and also make sure to be patient with it. It's not going to happen overnight. Now, throughout this entire journey, I learned a lot. The most important things that I learned, for number one, are patience and consistency are key. Be patient. Be patient. Be patient. It's not going to happen overnight. You didn't put on the weight overnight. You're damn sure not going to lose it overnight. And be consistent with it. Consistency is key. Make sure that you're not the type of person that's going to start a new diet plan or a new workout plan, and then after a day or two or a week or even a month, you decide to fall off, and then the cycle continues. You start again, and then you just fall off. Be patient. Be consistent. It's not going to happen overnight, but don't make excuses. Keep your eyes on the prize and keep grinding. Number two, it's all about your calories. in versus calories out. Honestly, you could eat junk food and still lose weight. You don't need to be on a strict diet to lose weight. I mean, there's even studies that have shown people who've ate McDonald's, cakes, and all these high-calorie meals, but they were burning more calories than they were consuming, and they were still able to lose weight. Think about like NFL players or athletes. They're consuming so much calories, but they're burning even more throughout practice and games, and they're able to maintain a nice physique throughout the season and off season. So it's all about your calories. Number 3, get to know your body. Find out what you love. Make exercise and dieting a part of your life. Actually, I'm not going to even call it a diet. Make it a lifestyle. Make it something that you won't decide, okay, I've reached my goal, I'm not going to stop doing it. Because you will put on all that weight back. So you don't want to be a person who loses weight and then gains it all back. So make sure you get to know your body, find out what you love, get to know what works for you. Maybe you're a person who's carb sensitive. If you eat too much carbs, you retain water or you put on weight, so you got to cut back on the carbs. Get to know what works for you. Don't worry about what works for others. Get to know what works for you. The best way I find is through experimenting. And number 4, the most important thing is never give up. It's not easy, but as long as you're patient and consistent with it, you're going to reach your goal. Whether it takes months, a year, or maybe even 2 years, depending on how overweight you are. Just be patient, consistent, and never give up. Keep your eyes on a prize. It's not going to be easy. If it was so easy, everybody would be doing it. Companies wouldn't be making so much money off these fad diets that never work. So never give up. Keep your eyes on a prize and keep grinding. You're going to reach your destination.